A high-impact stretch of weather is unfolding across the United States, bringing multiple hazards in rapid succession. The first concern is a significant severe weather outbreak expected today, including an elevated risk of tornadoes. This threat will not stand alone. Behind it, a powerful winter storm is organizing and is forecast to affect tens of millions of people from the Midwest to the Northeast. As if that were not enough, forecasters are also monitoring the potential development of a coastal storm this weekend. The combination of severe thunderstorms, heavy snow, and possible coastal intensification makes this an especially dynamic and concerning forecast period. The severe weather threat begins as a strong upper-level disturbance sweeps across the Mississippi and Ohio River valleys. This system is drawing warmer, more humid air northward, creating an increasingly unstable atmosphere. When warm, moist air collides with strong winds aloft, it provides the ingredients needed for organized thunderstorms. These storms may produce damaging wind gusts, large hail, and several tornadoes. The setup is particularly concerning because the system is slowing down, allowing richer moisture and greater instability to build farther north than earlier expected. That increase in storm fuel raises the potential for more intense thunderstorms later today. More than 10 million people are under a risk for severe weather across parts of the Ohio Valley. Cities such as Chicago, Cleveland, and areas stretching south toward Tennessee fall within a broader marginal risk zone. However, a more concentrated slight risk area highlights where tornado potential is greater. In these locations, stronger wind shear, higher dew points, and warmer surface temperatures will overlap. That overlap is critical for tornado development. The combination of atmospheric instability and organized storm rotation could allow a few supercells to produce tornadoes, especially during the peak heating hours of the afternoon and early evening. The corridor of greatest concern appears to extend from Louisville through Evansville, Dayton, Cincinnati, and Indianapolis. Residents in these areas should remain weather-aware throughout the afternoon. Forecast parameters indicate that this zone will experience the most favorable alignment of ingredients for rotating storms. Wind shear profiles support organized supercells, and instability levels are projected to increase steadily as the day progresses. While not everyone will see severe weather, those within this corridor face the highest probability of tornado development. Preparedness and close monitoring of warnings will be essential during the most active window later today. Forecasters often use a metric known as the significant tornado parameter to evaluate tornado potential. Elevated values across portions of Kentucky, Illinois, and Indiana suggest that a few tornadoes could occur this afternoon. These higher values tend to cluster along a boundary separating cooler air to the north from warmer, more humid air to the south. Boundaries like this often act as focal points for storm initiation and intensification. If storms can remain discrete and tap into the strongest instability, the tornado threat could briefly become more pronounced before activity transitions into a more widespread line of storms. Timing will be crucial. Morning storms have already produced hail and gusty winds in parts of northwest Indiana and northeastern Illinois. Much of that activity has shifted into Michigan, becoming more elevated and less surface-based. Around midday, new storms are expected to develop east of St. Louis. This cluster will require close observation because storm mergers in this region could enhance rotation. As the afternoon progresses, discrete supercells may emerge along the most unstable boundary, increasing the risk of tornadoes in localized areas before storms gradually organize into larger clusters. By early afternoon, multiple supercells could be underway along the Indiana-Kentucky border and across eastern Illinois. These storms will form in an environment rich with moisture and characterized by strong wind shear. North of the primary boundary, storms are likely to be more elevated, reducing their tornado potential. However, even elevated storms can produce large hail and gusty winds. As the system advances eastward through mid-afternoon, the severe threat should persist, provided atmospheric conditions remain favorable. Any unexpected changes in cloud cover or storm interactions could modify the intensity of the outbreak. Between approximately 3 p.m. and 7 p.m., the threat window is expected to peak. During this period, storms will continue moving east, and the tornado risk could remain active. After sunset, storms may become more disorganized and elevated, limiting tornado potential. Rain will become more widespread, with occasional hail and gusty winds still possible. Overnight into early Friday morning, the severe weather threat should gradually diminish. Behind the departing system, colder air will begin filtering in, setting the stage for a dramatic shift from thunderstorms to snowfall across parts of the region. On the backside of the system, a significant winter storm will take shape. As colder air wraps into circulation, widespread heavy snow is expected across portions of the Midwest. Areas including Des Moines, Omaha, Wisconsin, and the Upper Peninsula of Michigan could see accumulating snowfall accompanied by gusty winds. The rapid change from severe thunderstorms to snow underscores the strength of this system. Snowfall rates may become intense at times, reducing visibility and creating hazardous travel conditions. Wind gusts could also produce blowing and drifting snow, compounding impacts. Northern Illinois, including areas near Chicago, may see snowflakes by Friday. This transition will be abrupt, highlighting the dynamic nature of the storm. Meanwhile, parts of New England will also contend with heavy snowfall. Some locations may experience a quick changeover between snow, freezing rain, and rain. Light icing is possible in parts of southeastern New York and northeastern Pennsylvania, which could lead to slippery roads and isolated power issues. Southern New England is expected to see steadier snowfall before the system gradually weakens late Friday into Saturday. Although the primary system weakens, attention quickly turns to the weekend. Arctic air descending from Canada will spread into the eastern United States on Saturday. As this cold air interacts with lingering moisture and a developing coastal disturbance, the stage may be set for another winter storm. The setup is complex and remains uncertain, but it carries a potential for significant impacts. If the coastal low tracks close enough to shore and intensifies rapidly, heavy snow could develop along parts of the mid-Atlantic and Northeast late Sunday into Monday. Forecast models offer differing scenarios. One solution suggests a strong coastal storm rapidly intensifying into what meteorologists call a bomb cyclone, producing heavy snowfall across Virginia, Maryland, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. Another model depicts a weaker system with lighter, more widespread snow. The divergence highlights the uncertainties still present. Small changes in storm track or timing could drastically alter snowfall totals. Residents along the East Coast should remain attentive to forecast updates as confidence improves over the next day or two. Should the stronger scenario materialize, snowfall totals exceeding 1 foot will be possible in localized areas. Such an outcome would significantly disrupt travel and daily routines early next week. However, it is important to emphasize that this is not yet a guaranteed event. Forecast confidence will increase as new data becomes available and models converge on a clearer solution. Until then, preparation should remain measured but proactive, especially in regions historically prone to heavy snowfall during coastal storms. Beyond the weekend, the pattern remains active. Light snow could persist in parts of the upper Midwest early next week, with another potential winter weather system by midweek. Meanwhile, temperature swings will continue. An Arctic blast is expected Sunday into Monday across much of the eastern seaboard. Another surge of cold air could follow by Tuesday or Wednesday in the Midwest and Northeast. These rapid temperature fluctuations will reinforce the wintry feel and could prolong snow cover in affected areas. Longer-range signals suggest winter is far from finished. Forecast guidance hints at additional cold air intrusions heading into late February and early March. While exact storm tracks remain uncertain, the overall pattern favors continued opportunities for both winter storms and, eventually, renewed severe weather in the southern plains and southeast. The seasonal transition period often brings volatile weather, and this year appears no exception. Preparedness for both snow and severe storms will remain important in the weeks ahead. In summary, the United States faces a multifaceted weather threat beginning with severe thunderstorms and possible tornadoes today. That risk will transition into a widespread winter storm bringing heavy snow and strong winds to the Midwest and Northeast. Over the weekend, attention shifts to a potential coastal storm that could deliver substantial snowfall along the East Coast if conditions align. With so many moving parts, staying informed through trusted weather sources and heeding local advisories will be critical for safety during this active stretch.